This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard that tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. This is probably going to be very surprising, but apparently Kanye West has been acting a little odd.
What?
Yeah, I know. I know this is a shocker, but the cops are looking for him in L.A. because he allegedly punched an autograph seeker. Witnesses say Kanye asked a small group of autograph seekers not to take photos and said something about them not understanding what he's going through right now. Which I think that is very true. I don't think anybody understands what Kanye's going through right now. I think that's a true statement. When one man told Kanye that he did understand, Kanye allegedly punched the guy twice, once in the head and once in the neck.
Wait, so the guy that was showing him empathy?
Yes.
I mean, if this is true, obviously, this is based on what TMZ, I'm sure.
But they, TMZ, I mean, they're almost like 100% legit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but I mean, what would maybe the guy? I'm not saying he has any right to punch somebody, but maybe they're like, "Oh, I totally get what you're going through, Kanye."
Oh, sarcastically.
Yeah. I'm having a tough time after my breakup with a Kardashian as well. Who knows how that person was being?
You're right. It could have been very, very sarcastic. A woman in Kanye's party actually tried to calm him down, though, and someone caught all that on video.
Get away from me. Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
Hey, man, I'm protecting us now.
Get away from me.
I'm protecting us now.
I am your family. I am your family. Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
Ain't no hand. No. You were supposed to talk to her. Why did he just do that?
No, you were supposed to talk
What
to
is
her.
wrong with him? Can you please call the cops?
Anyone else find it a little ironic that the guy on a cell phone is asking other people to call the cops? When
He's got a video with.
I know you can easily just stop filming it and call the cops if you're that concerned.
I have to say that, I mean, look, I don't know what went down, and I hate to actually be on the side of Kanye, but sometimes people are such jackasses. It's
everybody's really nice.
Yeah, it's like
totally
really.
up and up.
Oh, I got the phone out, and why is he this way? I don't know. Maybe because you guys got in the face of somebody who, he's not so stable these days, right? I mean, from what we've been hearing. So if the guy goes, "Hey, I don't want to do any autograph," and then just walk away, just go, "Okay, have a good night," or something. Especially, I bet he looked like he was agitated.
Well, I think it was like 3 a.m. as well. It's like,
oh, come on. Don't talk to anybody at 3 a.m.
I know. I saw like on Twitter, there's like people are arguing, which is shocking on social media that people would be doing such a thing. But it was the wrestler CM Punk. I think it was him. He posted something that said, "Hey guys, just in the world that we're in right now, obviously how things are, we're trying everyone's trying to stay safe and healthy. If you see someone at an airport, don't get up in their face demanding an autograph. Just leave them alone. Just save it for opportunities when when the person's ready for something like that. Some people are just ready, and people are just getting so mad at him about it. If I want an autograph, I should be able to ask for an autograph. And it's there's certain times
really
that you should kind of was it like read the room or catch the vibe.
Yeah.
You know, like I think about when as a kid I always joke about it, but looking back on it, I don't really blame Billy Joel for telling me to go F off. Like he just got off a plane. He wants to be left alone. He's tired. This stupid little child is coming up to him wanting an autograph. Like, yeah, F off, kid. That kid being me, of course.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I support that 100%.
But some people get way too aggressive with like wanting an autograph or a picture, and it's just like if the celebrity doesn't want to do it, just go on your day. Like, who cares?
Yeah, what have you done? I mean, I would get into a big conversation like, show me the album you bought. Show me all the Kanye West stuff that you paid for. Show me whatever it is that you've done where you believe you warrant an autograph right away at any given moment on demand. What have you done to actually put money in this person's pocket? Because I can't randomly go up to an airport and ask people for their autograph if they're just regular people, right? That's weird.
Well, yeah, it's weird, but you can do it.
I mean, especially, hey,
that actually be a funny little video of like a celebrity went around asking random people that don't know that they're a celebrity. You know, like CM Punk, you know, wrestling fans know who he is. Maybe some people like in the comic book world know because he did some stuff with comic books and horror films and things like that. But, you know, some person who's not, and he's not on their radar, it would be funny if he just started walking up to random people. Hey, can I get your autograph?
Why not? You know, and then I could even say, I demand your autograph. Why? Well, because you work at the Apple store and I bought a lot of Apple products. So, Jimmy, I want your autograph. I mean, when I say it like that, it sounds stupid and weird. And you know what? That's exactly what it is when you bother anybody for an autograph in a non-autograph setting where, you're not at the ballpark, you're not, whatever. It's just these people are off the clock. Why can't anyone understand that someone is off the clock?
Well, I even think about like that Kraken game. I remember I think it was the first game I went to, or one of those games I went to where they don't play every player, so some of the players are in like just healthy scratches, but they're wearing like a suit or they're injured, whatever it may be. But after the game, we were in the little Space Needle lounge that they have there. That people will pay like a couple extra bucks, I think, in the season, more than a couple. But I got in because one of my buddies had a pass, and there were some of the players that were just there, and I was like, yeah, it'd be cool to say what's up to them and get pictures. But I'm like, they're there with like their girlfriends or their buddies. I'm just like, it ain't worth bothering them.
Yeah, that's an interesting call, though. If that's like a place you can go and you pay a little extra money and it's kind of part of the game experience, I don't know how to feel about that. If they show up there, because fans are going to be there.
Well, I mean, I'd imagine they wouldn't have cared. That was just a personal preference. I wasn't saying like no one told us, hey, and inadvertently we ended up bothering a sports athlete and Tyler Ott from the Seahawks because we didn't realize it was him. But we saw him wearing a Kraken jersey that had number 69 because that's his football number.
He's got to know he's got to know though that there are idiots.
So we didn't geek out. Yeah, we didn't geek out about him being a member of the Seattle Seahawks. We were geeking out at him wearing a jersey that said 69, and it wasn't until he walked away where I saw Ott on the back, and I'm like, oh, that's. He's with that's why he was other and his friends and family. Yeah. And here's me and Munson going, nice dude, 69.
Oh yeah, he was like, these idiots. That's great.
But in a roundabout way, I'm like, you're having your number is 69. You had to have found it funny at some point to even make that your number. That is, I doubt there's any like heartfelt backstory to the number 69. I could be wrong. Maybe it's like a combination of his great grandparents' favorite numbers. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I don't know. Yeah, but if you're wearing 69, you have to expect it. You just have to.
Someone said, could you imagine if a kid went up to Mickey Mouse at Disneyland asking for an autograph and Mickey said, F off, kid? That would be amazing.
That would be fantastic. But again, they're on the clock. If there's somebody running around in a Mickey Mouse costume at Disneyland, you can't be mad at anybody wanting to have some sort of interaction like that because they're on the clock at the place of employment. That's why I'm like, if they're not on the clock and they're not at their place of employment, what are you doing? I mean, that'd be like me asking you, look, I know you work at Panera at the airport, so would you mind going to the Panera stand down there and, get me something?
What if Mickey was on a smoke break, though?
Look, if Mickey's on a smoke break, I would just record that.
It reminds me of the scene from Bad Santa when he's sitting in the mall.
Yes.
I'm on my lunch break.
Oh, it's so great. You're absolutely right. That's one of the best scenes in the history of movies, if you ask me.
I would pay good money to see Mickey on a smoke break, even if it's not a real cigarette, like a little pretend, fake cigarette.
F off, kid.
I'm just trying to have a smoke over here.
Yeah, what the hell's wrong with you, kid? God, your parents must really need to take you to get some sort of, concussion protocol, you little jerk. Get out of here.
Wow.
Got a new survey, and they were asked about weird pairings that they'd be willing to try. And I have to tell you something.
Ooh.
I don't understand why these are weird pairings, some of these. Some of them, yes, but some of them I'm like, do you understand how flavors work? Like, why is it weird to you? Like, for instance, the first one, coffee and chocolate milk mixed together. 36% of the people, only 36% of the people think it sound good. It's like, hello.
Why is it not 100%? That sounds like
it's. Go ahead, Rev. You know what it is.
It's a mocha.
Yes,
that sounds like a perfect pairing.
It's literally a drink you can buy at places.
That's what people do, and you put milk in your coffee, and people put chocolate in their coffee because of the mocha situation. 36% said yes, and the other 64 are like, we're stupid.
I've actually been doing it this last week, but I bring the hot cocoa mix and I add it to milk and coffee, and it is the greatest coffee ever.
Oh, yeah, well, right? You must have like super chocolate going on there, man.
Yeah, it's like the Mexican chocolate, but it's the cocoa powder.
They got Mexican cocoa powder chocolate? Because, okay, that's got to be cool, right? It's got to be something better than what we have here in America.
Little cinnamony.
There we go.
That this is coming up because I recently I have a protein shake that I have. I just found that the flavor was it's a Dunkin' Donuts flavored mocha protein shake. I'm like, it has a caffeine in it.
Wow.
I'm like, this is awesome. So that's not the weird pairing. Like, that's just part of the powder, right? So my buddy, Brett from Be Jolly Lotion, he was telling me what to do protein shake wise after a workout. He's like, you should mix it with some orange juice and a little salt and this and another thing.
Oh, damn.
So in my head, I'm like, this could be a weird combination, but that's the only protein powder I had was chocolate. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to suck it down and hope for the best. That sounded weird. Sorry. But
yeah,
so I mixed it, shook it up. I look forward to this protein shake every day now.
Wow.
And I thought about
orange and chocolate orange and chocolate don't go better.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, they go good, yeah.
But initially I'm like, this doesn't seem like it would be a good idea, but you're absolutely right. It's just like orange and chocolate. And it's amazing.
Look, if you can love something that much where you look forward to it and it's a protein shake, good for you that you found something.
Yeah,
it's
right.
the best.
I mean, because, man,
highly recommend it.
That is, and it's the Dunkin' Donuts. That's the other thing. I mean, that to me, look, nothing against Dunkin' Donuts, but, you usually take protein shakes because you want to get healthy. And Dunkin' Donuts is known for selling a product that is the exact opposite of that. That's what is so bizarre to me.
What's that? With the Dymatize protein shake brand? They have like Fruity Pebbles flavors, and they have like some random ridiculous ones, which is pretty funny.
I guess you gotta make it feel like you're having some kind of treat as you're really trying to be austere and keep yourself on the straight and narrow.
You can go with just vanilla, but you might as well mix it up and have some fun. Yeah,
but again, Fruity Pebbles is not something I would think about for anybody who's like, it's the exact opposite of what somebody's trying to do to get healthy. You would not do any kind of Fruity Pebble.
But I'm such a sucker for Dunkin' Donuts coffee that I was just once I saw that, it was just like, strength in marketing. I just see Dunkin' on it. I'm like, purchasing it.
Boy, that is, give Dunkin' a lot of credit. I did not expect them to be in that space. Of all the things, it's like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put out a protein shake. What?
It's a collaboration I never knew we needed until it happened.
You make these donuts. What do you mean you're doing protein shake? Okay.
But they do coffee, man.
Yeah,
it's not Dunkin' Donuts anymore. It's just Dunkin', man.
Yeah, all right. Listen, man. You know what? It turns out to be they've got a great customer in you. So the Fruity Pebbles people, congratulations on your branding
and someone
in
says,
the protein shake world.
I have cold brew with chocolate milk every morning.
Oh yeah, why wouldn't you? So that to me is, I don't know why that's considered a weird pairing. Now this next one, I don't know. I never use lemons in my coffee, so I don't know how iced coffee and lemonade would work. But about 30% of the people said they'd try it. That I don't know. I'm not sure about that pairing.
It seems almost like a little bit more of a hardcore Arnold Palmer because the tea and lemonade. So maybe like iced coffee and lemonade.
Yeah, I guess I would try it, but I'm not looking forward to it. It doesn't seem.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy it, but if someone's like, "Hey, try this," I'd probably.
How did they even come up with that? Where you're like leaning over and you spilled your lemonade in someone's coffee, and they're like, this is actually pretty delicious.
Yeah, that's a good question.
It's a weird combo.
It is a weird combo. I wonder if it's some part of our country or another country that they do it all the time. How about coffee and soda? About 30% said they try that as well.
See, my brother was big into soda and milk when we were kids.
Oh, soda and milk.
Like Coca-Cola and milk?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Well, I mean, you do root beer floats, so I mean, milk is a version of that, I guess.
I tried it once, and it was the nastiest thing ever. And I always thought he was just trying to mess with me to get me to drink it, and it was like the world's worst troll job that he was going through pure suffering and agony just to make me suffer and be agonized, but he loved it.
This next one I do all the time. And it's a pretty good deal. I don't use a lot, but it's a soda mixed with lemonade. If you want a lemony flavor to your diet, like to your cola, I mean, I'll throw some lemonade because you got those machines that have everything. And, if I don't feel like putting like Sprite in with my Coke, because sometimes I just don't like I don't want the Sprite in there, I'll throw a little lemonade in there with the soda, but not enough where it waters down the carbonation. But it just gives you a little hint of lemon flavor. I've done that.
See that?
Yeah, they've had Coke with lemon before, and it wasn't terrible.
Oh, somebody says Dutch Brothers, the coffee place, they do a lavender cold brew. It's kind of like a lemonade.
Ooh. Really?
They weren't a fan of it, though.
Wait, like lavender, but lavender is not a lemon flavor. I don't know what the hell that is. Lavender is like vanilla, isn't it? Yeah, I thought lavender they make that from the vanilla plant.
Lavender is its own flower.
Are you sure?
I have no idea.
Because I have lavender plants outside my house.
Do you drink them?
But I mean, isn't that where they get vanilla from? Like the lavender plant is what I'm saying.
You get the vanilla from the lavender plant.
It comes from the vanilla orchid.
Oh, orchid. You're right. That's what I'm thinking of, orchids. Yeah. Never mind.
That was a big question once.
See, I always hate that when someone's like, it's a lavender flavor, because I don't even know what lavender tastes like.
Yeah, what does lavender taste like?
But when I look at it, it's a purple flower, so I just assume it's going to be grapey, and it's not.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely not grape.
And it tastes like lemons?
No.
Well, then I don't know.
I know that when I have had like lavender stuff, I smell it first, so I feel like I'm eating what I'm smelling, if that makes sense. But some people say it's kind of rosemary.
So Dutch Brothers has said, okay, look, we want to put lemonade in your coffee and then throw some lavender in too. Okay. Well, I mean, they sell it, so it must be something that's halfway okay.
Well, this is a texter that's saying that.
Right.
Dutch Brothers is not marketing it as a lemonade. This person just said it's a lavender cold brew, and it's kind of like lemonade.
Oh, I see. Wow. Right. Okay. Wow, that's interesting. All right. How about this one? This one I don't understand, because I feel like when you use ginger ale, sometimes you use it so that you can, calm down your upset stomach. So I don't think mixing milk with ginger ale would do anything but make me throw up. Milk and ginger ale, that mixture.
Yeah. Not effing with that.
Yeah, like milk with a lot of things seems weird.
I feel like, milk is just with cookies, right? That's all really it should be.
Or eggnog.
Milk and eggnog?
Do you not milk and eggnog? I feel like eggnog's like a milk thing. I was about to finish my sentence before you jumped down my throat.
Sorry, Rev and I were trying to figure out where you were going.
Well, maybe sometimes let people finish and they'll tell you.
Well, sometimes we just like jumping all over you real quick. We see the opportunity and we're going to just come in.
People like to mix, and I'm with it, Sprite with eggnog. It's delicious.
Totally, 100%. I learned that from Ted Smith.
What?
Yeah, you mix it with that at our Christmas gatherings. It would be Sprite and eggnog, and then a big lump of ice cream in there as well for extra health.
What?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
So it gives a little bit of that carbonation.
Wow. I mean, I'm not a wow.
Try it.
Yeah, you've got to try it before you.
Yeah, I'm not saying you guys are crazy. My brain just can't understand it.
Oh no, we are crazy, but I'm telling you, it's delicious.
Milk. I should say eggnog and
Sprite.
Well, then. All of a sudden, then milk with soda doesn't sound so crazy because eggnog is got the milky stuff in there.
But Sprite's not. I don't view Sprite like Coca-Cola, cola.
It's closer to ginger ale than it is to Coca-Cola, even though it's got that heavy ginger flavor. But that's what I think of: 7-Up, Sprite, ginger ale. I feel like those are at least, I guess your lighter sodas.
Yeah, somebody said they do it with 7-Up and eggnog, which is pretty much the same.
Yeah, okay.
Unless you're a purist for Sprite versus 7-Up.
I'll try it if somebody gives me one. I mean, I'm not going to say no to it.
And don't forget the big lump of ice cream in there, too, BJ.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've never been a float guy. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I just rather, have my ice cream in a dish. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, and apparently it's Dutch Bros, not brothers. Sorry.
It's really Dutch Bros? I've always called them Dutch Brothers. It really is Dutch Bros?
Yeah.
Really? All these years it's been Dutch Bros the whole time?
Dutch Bros, they're not brothers.
Honest to God, I have never heard anybody say that until now. I've always heard people call it Dutch Brothers.
Same here. I think it's just because we just see bros, and that's an abbreviation for brothers. But we didn't realize that maybe if they wanted to be called Dutch Brothers, they would have wrote brothers.
You're absolutely right.
Put a period at the end to signify that it was a shorter version. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It does say Dutch Bros. There's no reason. Oh, I always thought it was the abbreviation the whole time. Dutch Bros.
Yeah, today I learned.
Oh, well, they're a Portland company, right? Or aren't they? I don't know. I don't have one near me. That's why I don't,
One in Puyallup?
Of course there is.
One in Marysville.
Yeah. Oh, that's great too. Yeah, let me go drive. That's even a better drive.
They're delicious, man.
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't make many trips to Puyallup. I have to make one soon, as a matter of fact, and I'm already wondering how long that's going to take me. So there you go. Maybe I'll go to the Dutch Bros.
So it says you guys are idiots. Eggnog with Coke or Pepsi is a total game changer.
It is. Okay, I didn't know that.
Try it.
I love my cola. It's hard to believe that throwing eggnog in there is going to make it better because I'm not a huge eggnog fan. I like it with alcohol, like an Irish coffee, but an eggnog coffee, and throw some whiskey in there. And then again, whiskey makes a lot of things taste really good. We got a judge who fined a 72-year-old cancer patient and threatened to send him to jail because of his overgrown lawn. We'll get the audio, and you're going to hear it at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, 1 in every 5 children killed in traffic crashes in the U.S. was a pedestrian. That's why 3M is working alongside local governments and NGOs to help improve crosswalk visibility and traffic markings in school zones, in a worldwide initiative to provide kids with a safe walk to school and access to the education they deserve. To learn more and take action, visit 3m.com/schoolzonesafety. 3M Science. Applied to life.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. There's a Michigan judge who's being ridiculed for fining and berating a 72-year-old cancer patient for having an overgrown lawn. And she went even as far as to say that she would give him jail time if she could. Here's audio of the judge scolding the elderly man.
That is shameful. If I could give you jail time on this, I would. You better get that cleaned up. That is totally inappropriate.
I am very sick, man.
That is shameful. The neighbor should not have to look at that. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Does she not know?
Yeah, I feel like someone should have clued her in. Like, dude, the guy's getting, he's a cancer patient. So, he's getting his ass kicked, probably getting treated. And how's he going to do his yard?
Well, yeah, even in the video, you can see, he's struggling to breathe. Look, I mean, yeah, it sucks if someone doesn't mow their lawn. And what's wrong with the neighbors, too? Like, I'm sure they know the story behind all this.
You hope they do, and if they don't, then they just, know. I mean, people don't talk to their neighbors anymore, so it's possible they don't know.
We've all lost our minds, man. Like, this poor guy's battling cancer, and we're worried about whether or not he trims his yard.
Yeah, this is
I'd go over there and mow his lawn for him.
That's what I was thinking. Or you'd hire somebody. Like, if people have landscapers and, just, hey, can you go take care of that dude's lawn? But, I mean, you have to ask first and go, hey, what do you... Now, if he said no, don't touch my lawn, then I'd be like, all right, dude, you're kind of what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, he admitted to her that, he fell behind on the yard maintenance because he was diagnosed with cancer in the lymph nodes back in 2019.
Wow, so it's been 3 years since he's mowed his lawn. Wow. Okay.
I mean, it does look nasty, the outside.
Yeah, it really does.
but you would think someone would step up and try and help the poor guy out. And I sure as hell wouldn't yell at him for it.
I feel like if you're in your 70s, first of all, you got to say, okay, what's going on? You know what I mean? You got to see what's happening, because somebody gets in their 70s, that's when all sorts of different bodily ailments can happen. You got to figure that out before you just start berating somebody.
Dude, we got a letter from in the mail yesterday about nominating.
We got a letter?
Well, I did.
That's fantastic, though. I mean, the people are still sending letters, baby.
Well, it wasn't like someone wrote a letter to me. It was like, you still get mail, don't you?
Oh, all right. Oh, I thought, okay. So what'd you get?
Dearest Steve. No, it was like a letter in the mail about nominating someone for the Homeowners Association. Because we have the new development. And I was I thought about it for maybe all of 3 seconds ago. I do not want to be involved. I was going to nominate myself. Now I'm thinking maybe I'll nominate Tatum and just see what they would do if a 2-year-old was in charge of our... I feel like she'd do just as good of a job as some HOA presidents.
Well, plus you'd have, you have an in. Well, actually, I would say you'd have an in, but actually you don't have any in with her right now.
No, Mom does, though. So I'd have to go through Mom, because she likes Mom.
Yeah.
Or Lulu. She likes Lulu.
All right, well, Lulu probably, you can make a deal with Lulu for some treats, I think, and get what you need.
She tolerates me. It's an interesting dynamic with myself and Tatum sometimes. Like yesterday, it melted my heart. Like, she wanted to go play upstairs, so she just grabbed me by the finger and goes, Daddy, upstairs. And I'm like, let's go. So I'm walking up there. I'm like, I'm thinking of all the fun things we could do together up there. Like, what fun games are we going to get involved in? Are we going to play with her fake kitchen, or whatever it may be. And as soon as I sit down, I'm like, she starts playing with something like, can Daddy do that or something? She goes, Daddy, no. I'm like, so what, you just brought me up here to shoot me down?
Yeah. Look at that, dude.
It's an awful game you're playing with.
Lucy Charlie Brown situation going on right here, man. That's not cool. She's just pulling that football away and you keep going up going, this time I'm going to kick that football.
This is the time we're going to play. Yeah. And then eventually she'll let me play with her, but it's like, I think it's just like her, the first instinct is just to shoot me down and then make me earn it.
Wow. I mean, she's training you up really well. This is going to be a beating. I mean, I feel like she's getting you ready, whereas if she gives you any kind of positive reinforcement, you'll probably just whatever she wants, you'll do. Like, all right, what do you need? What do you want? New car? Oh, what you said you like me? Here's a new car. Dang.
Well, they say that the kids, they go through. I'm sure. I don't know. Do you remember back when?
I don't remember. I don't remember who I'm talking to right
more
now.
Than Dad at some point, and it goes back and forth.
Oh yeah, I was useless for the first 2 years of their lives.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that swing because everyone's like, "Oh, it goes back and forth." I'm like, it hasn't gone forth yet. When's that happening?
It's an interesting thing because as the kids get older, then all of a sudden it's which parent is the one that they kind of think is not as big of a jerk or as much of a disciplinarian. So I don't know. I have no idea how it's going to go for you, but everybody needs their mom when they're in their first couple of years of their life.
Very right. Mom's got the boob.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Mom's got the boob. Mom's usually the one that's cooler. Is more receptive because they just sort of pay attention better, I guess. Usually, but you should start coming through. I think. Yeah, man, I felt like 2.5 years old. All of a sudden, the kids were starting to become little beings that you could have conversations with, and therefore stuff could happen.
It actually started out with my mom with me. And I remember the day it flipped to Dad, and it was when my mom let me wear open-toed shoes to the park, and I got bit by fire ants all over my foot.
So you were mad at her for allowing you to wear what you wanted to wear.
And I held a grudge.
That sounds like child logic.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, Mom got those ants to bite me. I don't trust her anymore. Dad, you can only take me to the park.
Wow. Yeah, man. That's when
well, Dad was like, I would have let you wear those shoes too, but sure. Yeah.
Oh,
the worst.
That's when we started. And it's all right, Joe. Now we're going to, you know what? Let's go take trips. And we did say, Joe was my buddy for the longest time. But it's, it was probably maybe 3-ish, 4-ish, maybe. I can't remember exact age when he started coming around. Sarah, I saved her life. She never forgets this. And she was like a toddler and we were in Arizona and she tripped and fell in a lake. But it was like we were walking across this lake. It was no big deal, but for like a little kid, it seemed like she was drowning, even though like the lake was up to her ankles. And she tripped and fell in the lake kind of thing. And I just picked her up. And ever since then, she's like, you saved my life. You're the man forever. So you need to find a lake, Steve, and have Tatum trip in it and then pick her up and then she'll think you're the man.
I'm going to hope that we don't have to go down that road personally, but
it's kind of convoluted there.
Well, I'm just telling you what turned the corner for me, Steve. I'm just giving you the hint.
I do remember one of my earliest memories. I remember when I was a kid, we went somewhere where there was like it was like one of those paddle boat type things where you get in like the boat and you have the little foot pedals, you just go around. Yeah. And my mom and I were in one of them together and my dad and my brother were in one. And so they pull up, they get out of it, no problem. Then we're getting out of it. My mom gets out, no problem. I'm about to get out, but I slip and I fall in the water. And I will never forget, my mom just started laughing at me because she thought it was hilarious. And then I remember the rest of the ride, I was really torn on like, okay, who do I, because as kids, I favor mom more than dad. But in my head, I'm like, my mom laughed at me at nearly dying, but my dad breaks my toys if I don't put them away.
Rock and hard place.
So I stuck with being more of a mama's boy, even though and then I find out later on, like, I remember it was like weeks go by. I'm like, Mom, why'd you laugh at me? I almost died. And she's like, I just laugh when I get nervous. I was like,
a lot of people do that. Yeah.
Okay. And then And then ever since then, I've always noticed that. Like when my mom gets nervous, she just starts laughing. It's like hysterics almost.
And it's really, what a tough response to nerves because anybody around you will just get more angry, especially if sometimes it's an angry situation and somebody just starts laughing because they're nervous at the anger. Then I've been around those people. I'm like, you're laughing at me when I'm pissed right now?
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm about to drown, and my mom's laughing at me. It was just it was kind of traumatic at the time, but I bottled it up for like a couple of weeks before I finally was just like, one day just at the dining room table, like, Mom, why'd you laugh at me when I almost died?
That's awesome. It's just like a random outburst. Like, what are you talking about?
Like, I finally hit my breaking point. Like, for weeks, I've just been sitting there and just like thinking, like, she just thought that was hilarious. That I almost died.
Steven, eat your peas, okay?
Right.
Calm down.
What if I choke on these peas? Are you going to laugh at me?
By the way, that's a horrible gift, like that nature gives you, where you laugh in situations that are not appropriate because that's just how you deal with like stress. And that you just don't know how to, that's just what your body does. That sucks, man, because you're always inappropriate.
And imagine, I couldn't even think of, like, at the time, I didn't think about it because I was too worried about myself, but the random bystanders that saw what was going on, kid flailing in the water. I'm probably not anywhere in any danger of actually dying, but, you're freaking out because you're in the water. I'm like, and Mom's laughing at him.
How'd you get out?
My dad pulled me out.
Oh, he should have been your man. He still
broke my toys, dude.
He's such a toy breaker that he pulls you out of the water while your mom's laughing while you're dying, and that still doesn't put him in the top spot.
Well, I'm sure at the time he was probably yelling at Roseanne, why do I have to do everything?
Oh, that's funny. Well, you know what? You had a good situation.
This is probably why we never went to Disney World. These kind of situations.
Like, probably if this was going to happen with the duck boat with this kid,
right? It's like his dad probably thinking this is should be a relatively stress-free day. And no, I got an idiot son that can't get out of a boat. My wife is laughing at him. He's crying. Random people are looking at us like we're the worst parents in the world.
And I'm going to go spend plane tickets and an exorbitant price to do this very same thing in Disney World? No. Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one right.
What year did the movie Black Panther come out?
When did Rev get sick in that chair? I'm going to go 2018.
Yes. Good memory.
That is pretty amazing. Like, you know what? The things that you just lock in your brain and know. Oh, yeah, I remember the year he got sick in the chair.
It was a lucky guess, but it did sound like I connected it to the exact same time.
That's awesome. You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Migs at 8:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. Here's another question from a listener. How long is a bankruptcy going to affect my credit rating?
Of course, most of the time, by the time we're talking about filing a bankruptcy, the credit has already taken a huge hit. Chapter 7 is going to affect it more negatively than Chapter 13. Chapter 7 stays on your credit report for 10 years from the time you file. It usually takes 7 or 8 years for your credit scores to get back into the normal range in a Chapter 7 case. However, your credit will start to recover even in Chapter 7 after about a year. You'll be able to get credit again right away, usually before your case is even over. Chapter 13 stays on your credit report for 7 years and usually takes about 3.5 years for your credit to get back in the normal range. So Chapter 13 will mean your credit gets better much more rapidly.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com. Thanks for listening.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.